Joining us now is the chief of Umukwata.
Wow.
OjyOkpe, a.k.a. Pepper Dem.
You really know what to do. I only charged him only. I was just joking. How are you this morning? Of course, that's what I'm about to do. How are you this morning? Rufy on fire. All right. Ayo, good morning.
Action.
Professor Killer, how are you this morning? Perfect. It's always so nice, when I come to the studio, and nice to hang out with you guys. Yesterday, our good news story really cheered me up. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, the story was that, she had a baby at 47. But a lot of people were asking, did she birth the babies? But she didn't. It was through surrogate. So, it was, just to clarify, this day and age, you can have babies through surrogate. But it was a brilliant news, really exciting. Again, congratulations to Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie on her twin boys, really. All right, how are we starting What's Trending today? All right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin What's Trending. Following up on the clampdown of fake drugs in Nigeria, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, in a post on X on Monday, said it uncovered a massive stockpile of falsified and unregistered pharmaceutical products in Idumota, Lagos. The agency said it seized the items and swiftly evacuated all of the items in an ongoing crackdown on the illegal drug trade.
You look at this product now. They have tampered with the whole level, the dead marking. Now, this place they are putting it. This is the level. This is the year 2025. The color of printing is blue, but they are on the revalidation with blank ink.
Then we have a rofinol, date rape drug. This is what they add to the drinks of young girls, and they will sleep up and they rape them. This is a drug. Cough syrup with codeine was banned by NAFDAC since 2018. So I wouldn't explain where he's getting cough syrup with codeine. They are not in pack. They are quite few, but maybe he will tell us where the remaining ones are.
These condoms are actually donated USAID on UNFPA condoms that expire since 2022. So it's revalidating and putting them into KISS packaging materials and extending the date to 2027. They are counterfeit versions, of the expired donated condom.
If a company is properly registered and somebody is counterfeiting them, the trade of that person will be spoiled. So it's public health, your health and myself, and also trade. And also our image in the world, the image of Nigeria in the world. Kudos to NAFDAC for everything that they have been doing, really. I love that you're clapping. Everyone is so amazed with a lot of things that NAFDAC have been doing. They said so far 3,000 shops have been screened and placed on hold, and over 10 arrests have been made, targeting traders who attempted to evade enforcement by hiding or relocating products, particularly at night. Let me take NAFDAC's tweet. They wrote in part, the operation exposed severe lapses in storage conditions with medicines including injections, vaccines, and intravenous drips kept in unsanitary environments. These poor storage practices compromise drug safety, efficacy, and quality, posing serious health risks to consumers. Rufai, you were clapping here, and I really love this story because obviously they are really doing the Lord's work. But let me take another tweet here. This person in response to NAFDAC wrote, NAFDAC, you're doing well. Don't limit it to the shops. Medication should not be sold in a mere shop called chemist, where anyone can walk to and buy medicine without the prescription of a doctor, physician, or pharmacist. But we have to be sure that this clampdown is a real clampdown at this point, because a lot of the people in Idumota market, some of them have been, even tagging me and saying, listen, some of these are medicines. They're not unregistered. They are real drugs at this moment that NAFDAC is stealing, which, I kind of
we'll feel really sad if that's the situation, because obviously we always want due process followed accordingly. Well, some traders at the Idumota market have accused NAFDAC of stealing drugs. They claim the drugs were approved by the agency. In this video, the traders besieged a NAFDAC truck filled with confiscated medicines.
They call themselves NAFDAC. They call themselves NAFDAC.
All right, that's the other side of the story. Some of the traders there are saying that some of their medicines were registered with NAFDAC, and we need a response from NAFDAC with that video as well. But again, like I said, kudos to NAFDAC. I can't even believe in Nigeria they sell medicine in shops like that. It's not done anywhere where you can just walk in and buy prescription medicines that are supposed to be prescribed to you in a shop. Rufai, I mean, I don't understand this. I don't understand this.
The medicine ecosystem in Nigeria is a talk for another day. If we say we should do documentaries, we will do hours and hours of documentary, but kudos to her. See, there's always going to be a counter-narrative because these people are business people, they will fight back. But the question we should ask is, what they are doing, is it legitimate?
Is it?
They can claim that, yes, there is NAFDAC logo or number on most of the drug, but we also know that there have been accusations as regards the process of getting those NAFDAC numbers. What are we enjoying NAFDAC to do is to partner with a digital tech company and have a certification code for every drug that they put their NAFDAC number in such a way that when you scratch the drug, when you finally buy it as a scratch code and you put the number in, you text the number, there should be an analysis come through of the drug so that you can verify the process at which it went through. Secondly, NAFDAC should also bolster the process at which they give out NAFDAC numbers, because we have seen that process has also been infiltrated. Thirdly, we must support NAFDAC on this drive. And it goes back to, yes, when this woman said, Dr. Professor Mudashiru, when she said that there should be death penalty, a lot of us were saying civil rights issue and all of that. But people that can brazenly, because of profits, lead to the loss of life, they should have their head examined. And it's not today, Oji. The drug cartel will fight back. They fought back during Dora's time.
Absolutely.
They almost assassinated Dora Akunyili. I remember the interview on a sister television station that day that Dora came on it and she was crying. The drug mafia. Oji, there's a drug mafia in this country that we need to get and see the end of. Or else, people will continue to die. I don't want to mention the name of a big man, but I have told you that story in private. There's a big man, big Nigeria, that is sought after in the world today, that his brother died because of fake drip.
Same with Dora as well. The same thing that happened to her
sister.
Her sister died because of, fake drugs. And I'd like to pull up a video of the late Dora. And in that video, she explained why really we behave the way we behave. And she talked about different ideas and said it was all about rebranding. Well, the late Dr. Dora Akunyili was the Director-General of NAFDAC from 2001 to 2008, was known for her advocacy against counterfeit drugs in Nigeria. In an interview that has resurfaced online, she highlighted corruption and bad attitude as a major hindrance to rebranding Nigeria.
Everything boils down to corruption. And corruption is not just about giving or taking money. Corruption is about not doing the right thing. And I don't even envy corrupt people because they destroy themselves and destroy their children, generations unborn. And when we look at the way we behave to ourselves and to this country, Nigeria, for which we have no other country that we can call our own, it's all because of bad attitude. That attitude of the past and even the present that we are saying through rebranding, we must change. If we don't change, nothing will change. Angels will not come down. Foreigners will not come here to fix Nigeria for us. They have their own countries to fix. So that change of attitude, which is a critical aspect of rebranding, we must embrace. If we don't embrace it, I'm sorry that we may not be talking seriously. So rebranding is the key.
There it goes. Rebranding is the key to success in Nigeria. I mean, corruption is a big problem, but what about our attitude, really? These fake drug merchants, man's inhumanity to man. How dare you sell counterfeit drugs? Who gives you the right to kill another human being?
Well, you continue to sell it as long as there's a market for it, and then there's an enabling environment for it. And that's why I totally agree with you, Rufai, that we must support the work that Professor Mojisola Adeyeye through NAFDAC and the NAFDAC team are doing. Because we have, I mean, this is 2001 we're talking about, when that's 23 years ago, when Professor Dora Akunyili was battling with the same issue. Unfortunately, despite all the work that she did, we still see the menace. And like you said, I don't want to use drug cartel, so they won't mix it with hard drugs. Medicine cartel, whereby people who are supposed to be custodians of good health through medicines like this are selling fakes to Nigeria because of personal profit and personal gain. I love that she talked about rebranding mindset. Yes, people say, well, because there's poverty in the land, people are broke, people are desperate. No. If you're broke and you're desperate, the idea is not to go and look for a way to kill your fellow man. That is not the response. That is greed. That is wickedness. That is evil. And that's why we must stamp this out. I'm looking forward to a Nigeria, talking about rebranding, where issues or instances of fake drugs will be a thing of the past. It would be at very minimal level, because all around the world you have it. It's just that the government takes very, very, very strict measures to ensure that this business does not thrive. These people that are talking about, oh, NAFDAC is stealing from them, it just reminds me of what Nuhu Ribadu said when he was the first chairman of EFCC, corruption fighting back.
Yes.
When you fight corruption, corruption will fight back. This is what we see. Yes, NAFDAC has a case to answer, but talking about the scratch card, some medicines have it. Yeah. And even with that, that scratch card number you're talking about, even cosmetic companies had to resort to doing that as a result of the fake proliferation of fake products. So it's great that she's doing this. The only thing I'll then draw that I just thought about was that in Idumota, when they closed the shops, they didn't close the market. So business wasn't disrupted totally. Like in the same way, because people were arguing about yesterday's comments by Peter
very
Obi,
happy you brought this
that you can actually close shops, identify and prosecute. Let them not just close shops. Let them find out the cartel behind and prosecute without stopping the business for others. So
I'm very glad that you brought this up, and this is where I'm taking the conversation to with you, Professor Killa. I mean, like you heard Ayo say, in Idumota, they did not close the entire market. And, you know, we are still trying to advocate for the shop owners in Onitsha, plumbers, building materials. Their shops have been closed, and we've not heard from NAFDAC as to what they are going to do about that.
Yeah. Well, I think individuals, the businesses there, I continue to think they should go to court. I propose they do a class action against who come to close them. But in the meantime, the number one citizen of the state, the governor, has a duty to step in. Because
Professor Charles Chukwuma,
and, you know, and I think, you know, my friend and colleague Charles needs to do something about this, because on one side, we've been suffering already from losing 1 day a week. Now we have this killing that you cannot stop businesses from operating. You cannot stop people from working. You cannot debar people from getting goods and services they need and expect stability. These are the steps that leads to chaos, that leads to insecurity. We just don't look at it together, but it's very important. And regarding the NAFDAC thing, I think 4 things needs to be done. Number one is that NAFDAC really needs to get this act together. It needs to find a way to be truly trusted, not just liked, to be truly trusted. The way to do that is to make sure that their operations are surgical and they're very tight and very transparent. I also believe that the issue of the fake drug thing, those selling fake drugs should be treated like great criminals. I think they should be charged like things like terrorism. The idea that they're going to kill people. But I also think after that, though, it is important that we use economics and education to fight fake drugs. Economics in the sense that let us increase the supply and availability of authentic drugs and identify authentic drug seller. Education and persuasion to let people know the gravity of using fake drugs, selling the drug, or dealing with it.
And again, we call for regulation. These drugs should not be sold in stores. They should be sold in real pharmacies, and people should come with their prescription. I mean, I'm not talking about over-the-counter medication, but I'm talking about real drugs like we saw in that video. Well, kudos to NAFDAC, as always. Well, still in Lagos, amid the ongoing leadership tussle in the Lagos State House of Assembly, we're getting reports that no fewer than 27 lawmakers from the All Progressives Congress are considering defecting to the opposition Labour Party. The report was contained in a statement issued by Abayomi Arabambi, the National Publicity Secretary of the Julius Abure-led Labour Party National Working Committee, who said that the defectors are unhappy over alleged political interference in the Assembly affairs, particularly regarding the attempts to reinstate former Speaker Mudashiru Obasa. Meanwhile, Obasa was seen in a video that has now gone viral, walking confidently on the streets of Lagos in what appeared to be a roadshow with a crowd of supporters. Let's take a look. Rufai said that swagger, Obasa swagger. But I saw. Can we go to Rufai? Really? Can we go to Rufai?
Speaker swagger.
Rufai, I saw that you posted that video. Speaker. All right.
Unemployment, that's what you're seeing.
Yes.
Is that not you young people that are supposed to have a future in this country?
Yes.
Flocking around the politician during working hours? That's what you see with unemployment. That's what you see with the political economy. And for Arabambi, please, Arabambi should distinguish, is it cruise he's talking or real? How will they decamp? Once they decamp, they lose their seats. Let's not condone what is wrong. Is it because of the palongo that is happening in Rivers State that we are all looking?
Yeah.
I don't think any of them were willing to decamp at this time.
Okay.
They have their own internal problem, they will solve it. They want to decamp, it's Labour Party, they want to decamp too.
I don't understand. Are you looking down on the
Is it Cruz, Arabambis? Labour Party should first go and fix their own internal problem. Sort their problem. Is it Labour Party that they want to decamp to that they've not sorted their own problem? So is it Cruz? Arabambi is my friend. Arabambi is my friend. Is it Cruz is talking of or real? If they decamp, they lose their seats.
Yes, I mean, it was the roadshow and the swag for me with Mudashiru. Just to lighten up
for me.
Oh, is that what?
This is fashion. This is zip up, you know. The boy is young. That's the message he's sending.
King of boys.
King of boys. Well, all right. Shall we head over to Kaduna State now? In a significant victory for security forces, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, handed over 59 kidnapped victims to the Kaduna State government on Tuesday. The victims were rescued from various forests along the Abuja-Kaduna highway during a joint operation involving the military and intelligence agencies coordinated by the Office of the National Security Advisor. Well, during a press conference, Ribadu reiterated the federal government's commitment to securing the release of other kidnapped victims who are still in captivity.
Kaduna State is an example of today, what will be the result of working together between the federal government and state. It's probably one of the most abused states in terms of insecurity in the last couple of years, but today is one of the freest because of the relationship that you are able to work and establish between the federal government and the state. We want to thank Kaduna State Governor particularly for his cooperation and indeed even lead in the initiative that is getting us result.
I mean, kudos to our security forces here. I mean, there is a great incentive in showing that we are doing the work by rescuing these victims and showing that the terrorists that have been terrorizing the northern part of Nigeria really is getting tackled, especially like Nuhu Ribadu said in Kaduna State, which even has, I believe, the Air Force base there, military base there, and, you know, a great win for Nigeria with that story. Ayo, before I come to you, I would like to tie in this story together. Well, over the weekend, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, gave assurances saying that Nigerians will sing new praises about their country by the end of the year. The minister made the comment in Ethiopia during a meeting with the Nigerian community held on the sidelines of the 38th ordinary session of the Assembly of the African Union Heads of State and Government. He also called on Nigerians to speak more positively about their country to attract more investors. Let's take a look.
We believe that by the end of this year, Nigerians will sing better stories about our country because of the kind of improvements that's happening, the kind of creativity that is being brought into governance by the president, and the kind of also the belief that Nigerians are beginning to have in the reform agenda of the president. Of course, before now, for those of you who have heard the story of Nigeria or who have gone back home, I always use the example of Kaduna-Abuja Road. Just 2 years ago, it was problematic. Nobody would just enter his car and start going to Kaduna or to Kano. But today, nobody asks questions again. Before, if you want to go to Kaduna, you begin to ask, did they come out today? Are they there? But today, everybody just carries his key, fuels his car, and begin to travel. Over 8,000 of these criminal elements have been neutralized. About 8,000 of equal number have been released from the kidnappers. And about 11,600 of these terrorists have been arrested. These are the new numbers from the security agencies.
I mean, kudos to the Nigerian government on the two fronts. I mean, I quickly endorse Mohammed Idris's statement. I mean, he's also part of the National Orientation Agency saying Nigerians should always speak positively about the country. Your thoughts on both stories, Ayo, before I go
so let me just say that I totally support what he's doing his job. He's the Minister for Information and National Orientation, and he just talked about how we must position Nigeria rightly. And I do you know, it ties back to what Professor Akunyili said as well, because she also had the responsibility for that, about rebranding. Nobody is going to rebrand Nigerian for us apart from Nigerians. Yes, the people ask for better governance, you know, better livelihood, but also there's a responsibility to ensure that we're also able to position Nigeria properly, and that's what we do here. We bring balance. Yeah, people might say that we bring what's trending, but we also talk about very good stories, and that's why very specifically we have the good news segment, because we want to showcase the beauty that is Nigeria. Whether I like it or not, that's what we're facing today. Nigeria is a great nation with great potential. It is important. It is, and I love that the National Orientation Agency has started being very deliberate with their campaign around what it means to be a true Nigeria. You know, so I love that. So great one there. But let's us continue to fix Nigeria as we continue to push Nigeria forward to the desired destination.
I love your point. Professor Killer, a comment on both. I mean, I love both.
Well, I think it's a good thing to talk about Nigeria, but we have to be say good things about Nigeria, but we have to be very careful not to do two things: not to sell fried air and not to lie. The best way to promote Nigeria is to show good things about Nigeria.
Yes.
If a Nigerian scores a penalty, or scores a goal, you don't need to say it is there, and you know it's a good player. If a Nigerian writes a good book, you don't need to say, oh, this book is good. You read it, you say it. I think investors do not listen to rumors. Investors test, they do index analysis, They check security. The best way to promote Nigeria is by doing good things in Nigeria and with Nigeria. The spin will not go very far. It is not an emotional thing. And we have to be very careful. Criticizing government is not criticizing Nigeria. Asking for good governance is not hating Nigeria. I argue that those who point out our flaws are actually more loyal to Nigeria than those who try to hide it.
Well said, Professor. Well said, Professor.
Pointing out the flaws is the highest level of patriotism.
Absolutely.
I hope they hear it.
Right. Well said, Professor Killer. Well, before we take our next story, we'd like to highlight this video of the late Afenifere leader, Chief Ayo Banjo, who passed away on Friday, February 14th. The video was captured by his daughter. Well, in the video, Pa Banjo predicted how the news of his passing will be announced. Let's take a look.
Controversial man. Yes. What did you say? That one day they will announce? Can you have seen that? You just said it. Repeat it.
The controversial man is gone. He died at the age of 90-something. He spoke that to his daughter.
This was so beautiful to see. I loved it. Really, I mean, it just comes at the passing of Sir Edwin Clark as well, who passed away only yesterday. Well, the esteemed Pan-Yoruba leader passed away peacefully at his Lekki residence at the age of 96. He was a nationalist and a founding member of Afenifere. Banjo dedicated his life to advocating for democracy, justice, and true federalism in Nigeria. May his soul rest in perfect peace.
Amen. Oji, all right. I believe that if everybody can once in a while say to themselves,
yes,
what would I want to be said of me when I die? The world will be a better place. Yes. And that thing that he said, it's a big thing. I think it's amusing, it's fascinating, but it's also a big lesson for everybody, but young and old, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Again, may both their souls.
The rest of
Edwin, two great men, Edwin Clark and Pa Banjo.
And let others stop dying.
You cannot stop death. Death is inevitable. The only thing you cannot change is the way you were born and the way you die. Well, all right. Well, let's take our next story now under entertainment. Controversial singer Habib Okikiola, popularly known as Portable, has been declared wanted by the Ogun State Police Command for allegedly leading a violent attack on government officials. Police say the incident happened on February 5th during an enforcement exercise in Ota. Portable was alleged to have showed up with a firearm and led a group of thugs to attack the officials who were on a property linked to the singer. Obanimi, town planner. That was the altercation. That was when it happened. Well, you know that the police say 9 suspects have been arrested, but Portable remains on the run, and that multiple invitations were sent to him, but he ignored them without legal representation. Well, in the meantime, Portable, in a now viral video, declared that he is a madman who is undergoing psychiatric treatment at a hospital in Abeokuta. Well, he called on Nigerians to mediate on his behalf after the arrest warrant was issued. Let's take a look.
Wèrè ni mí, mo lóògùn tí mò ń lò. Ẹ lè lọ bèrè mi láàárọ̀. Mo ní páálí, mo lóògùn tí mò ń lò. Ẹ bèrè mi. Ọmọ Ògùn ni mí, ọmọ Abẹ́òkúta. Ó ń tọ́jú wèrè nílùú wa, ó ń tọ́jú wèrè lé wa. Wèrè ni mí. Ẹ fi wèrè sílẹ̀, wèrè mọ ibi tó ń lọ. Ọmọ ìjọba ni mí, federal government liability. Mi ò jalè rí, mi ò ṣe àwúrì. Mo mú kan mọ́kànrin orin ni mò ń kọ. All the money I get, I use and help people. Ni lọ́la sàárà tí mo máa ń ṣe, lọ́la àwọn tí mò ń help mi ò ní jábọ́.
Rufai, Portable says a madman.
Nigerian police don't believe that. With due respect, arrest him. Portable thinks he can break the law. This is the second time he's done. You know, he did it the first time that he was charged to court.
Yes.
That was how he harassed people that came. Now, town planners came. He pulled out the firearm. We should ask, where did he get the firearm
Where
from?
did he get the firearm?
He's been terrorizing society and is now feigning ignorance. I checked through all of his Instagram page.
Yes.
He showed a picture of where he was praying in the sand. Oh God. At first he lied. He said because he wore Yayi's t-shirt. He has sang a song to beg that Obiodun. He's done all sorts. If you allow such a man go, you think he can get away with it. At some point he brought one of his sisters or auntie, said he should come and beg. He said Ayelonshe. It's a lie.
Ayelonshe, what does that mean?
The village people after him. It's a lie.
Well, we don't know. Let's wait and see.
That disrespect the law. So when he was bragging about chasing those, or call himself Obanimi town planner, he didn't know that time.
He's not only a
police command. Go ahead, wherever you see, pick him up. Let him face the
He's
full wrath of the law.
He's wanted.
That's justice.
All right, that is Portable. I thought he said that he's a town planner, chairman, and a king. And also he says
Arrow certified.
All right.
Agberu
economy. Well, the Zazua, he also called himself a baboon. All right, shall we take another story now under entertainment? British Nigerian writer and fashion blogger Chidera Akunyili, who is best known for her book, What a Time to Be Alone, has argued that marriage is inherently oppressive, saying that encouraging women to get married is like encouraging them to step 1 inch closer to their death. Chidera made the argument during a debate at Cambridge University over the weekend, adding that if she were to get married, she would only marry a man who would empower her with assets. Let's take a look.
But if I were to get married to a man, I would only be marrying a man who is putting land, properties, and assets in my name. Oh, sorry, what's funny? You know what, that's interesting that we're laughing about that, because it sounds ridiculous, right? The idea that a woman would want security when we know that men are unreliable. Not only are they unreliable, they are a woman's apex predator. That's right, the man you're laying with could kill you. And so when we are encouraging women to get married, we are encouraging women to step 1 inch closer to our death. Unless we are encouraging the women we are emboldening to get married to enter this decision with their best interest at heart. Yes, it is controversial to talk about money and assets and land and properties when discussing marriage, because we're taught to follow the distraction of love, romantic love. What about love? Well, this is all about love. The man who loves me will make sure that I am secure for the rest of my life.
All right, this is a big topic, Ayo, and I would like to bring it back tomorrow. Yes, I wanted to make sure that we played it so we can discuss it. But I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.